Hello, Sparrows. Hello, Sparrows. I know I came on earlier today and I did a mini commercial all by myself. However, I just spoke with Melissa. She was able to come on for a moment, so if we can get her on here, then we're going to be over here. And as you know, on this format, we can do whatever we want because it is totally unscripted. Therefore, give me just a minute. Hopefully we'll have Mel on, and then we will do a quick mini commercial. I know it's almost 7 o'clock, so it's not going to hurt anything for us to check it out and see how things are going to go, because you may just be privileged to have her on Facebook tonight if we can get her on. Okay? And you know how it is here. I get super nervous. Because you never know how Facebook is going to cooperate. Hi, Junior. How are you? Joy, how are you? Welcome in. Decided to do another quick mini commercial to see if we can get Melissa on, but you know how it is over here, and I just don't play that most times. I don't play it, and so we'll see if we can get her in momentarily. I sent her an invitation just to be sure. I haven't seen her yet. How was your day today? It is Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Hopefully you both had great days. I don't even remember mine. That's how quick it went through. Hi, Nancy. Hi. Come back in. Hello. And I don't know. We may have to just hit the ground running. And look at this. Don't have any lipstick on. Never did polish my fingernails. I cut them, but I didn't polish them. That's how I roll over here. Whatever I can do. Got on my big, loose, cool dress because I was just hot all day. Seriously. It's that kind of thing. I'm going to see. You know how I do it. I'm going to shoot Melissa a text. Yeah. I have to laugh. I do. I have to laugh. Okay, Melissa, I see you. So what I'm going to do, look at the bottom of your phone, Melissa, and that two-head silhouette. If you could press that button, it would be awesome. And be sure to turn your phone sideways. If you turn your phone sideways, then you'll be able to pop in. Thank you, Joy. You know I appreciate you. I do. I do. I've already sent the invitation, Melissa. It's not allowing me to send it a second time. Remember that two-head at the bottom of your phone? Press that silhouette, the two-headed silhouette there. Press that and then turn your phone to the side. Landscape. If you do that, it should be able to let you in. You're on your computer? Yeah, it won't do it on your computer. It has to be from your phone. I know, it's really strange. You'd think Facebook would have where you can do lives from either space to connect, but they don't. They do not. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. And I think it should be okay at that point. Joy, tell me, how was your weekend? Junior, what's going on? Who else is in the room? Nancy, welcome in. Just flying by the seat of my pants right now. Well, my dress. I'm flying. And guess what else? I don't have any lipstick on my desk. I try to keep a tube of lipstick on because if I had a tube, I would straight up put my lipstick on right now. I would do it. I would. I promise you I would do it. But guess what? My purse is in reach. My purse is in reach. Look. I know. This is some kind of etiquette. Not the best, I'm pretty sure. But these lives, you can do whatever you want. I'm feeling some kind of way because I don't have any lipstick on. If it was an actual lie, then I'd really be a mess. You had a fabulous weekend. I saw some posts with your son and the Citadel and all of that. Yeah, you're getting ready, so I know you have got to be excited about that. Yeah? Your day was long, Nancy. You're grateful for it. I know that's right. It was a beautiful day. We can't say that. The sun was out, and it's still out. Just a slight breeze. Uh-huh. Hi, Derry. I'm going to do a girl thing right now, cousin. I'm going to put lipstick on right on the live. I'm feeling some kind of way because I don't have color on my lips. I'm just being a girl. Ooh, that is it. Melissa should be on momentarily, but you know what? I'm so excited about tonight. See, I feel better. I feel better now. I have color. I have color on. And what I'm going to do next is leave it sitting on my desk, just in case. I actually didn't get out today. I had a couple of meetings and stuff like that, and held on the phone with AT&T forever. Other than that, it was an easy, breezy day. And it's 10 minutes before we're actually on. I was going to change my clothes, but I guess I won't now. But I cannot wait to talk about P.U.P.E.A.T.Os. I cannot. And Melissa has this song, Love Games. Gave me the perfect time to speak on that chapter. The complete, I promise you, I've been waiting for. So grateful that I now have it. It looks like it's adding you in, Melissa. Make sure your phone is turned to the side, landscape, and it shouldn't be a problem. And there she is.
Hi.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm just trying to, set this up because I use my iPad. I'm like, wait a minute, let me use my techie stuff.
You are the queen of tech.
I try to be.
You are the queen of tech. I'm not.
I try. I try to be. I try.
Oh my gosh. But you know what? It's almost 7. I don't even see the point in stopping and starting.
I'm so sorry.
No. The mini commercial, well, we actually have, about 7 or 8 minutes. We really could.
Okay. I see there's 5 people in here, but I don't know who they are. Hello.
If you want to view the comments, just swipe your screen to the left, I think. And you should be able to view.
Swipe to the left, comments and reactions. Okay.
Yes, and you should be able to view. Should.
What?
Is it good?
No, it don't let me see it.
Left or right?
Left. But I'm on my iPad, so I don't know.
You should be able to see it, though. I'm on my iPad. But you know what?
That's weird.
You know what? They're going to be mad over at on Instagram. But you know what? They're going to be okay. They're going to be okay.
It's okay.
It is. We may just have to do it another time over there. Because I was just covering bases today. Because you never know how Facebook is going to be feeling from day to day. And with a lot of feedback and things like that. That's where the whole implementation of the mini commercials came from. I have my own commercials now because of that.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Well, that's good.
It is.
That's
So
good.
I'm going to say welcome. I didn't even do a greeting because I just jump on and start talking with the commercials. So everybody is saying hello, Joy, Nancy, James. I can see, so I'm going to have to
Hi.
eyes and ears.
I can.
That's what we can do.
It's all good.
It really is. I promise you. I said to you that it's unscripted. So it can go in what
Very unscripted.
it is. It started out that way. And that's what I love most about it. Free flowing. And I'm just going to back it up just a little bit so anybody who does watch it later on and does not know who I am, I'm going to give a snippet of who I am, and then we may as well just carry on. That's how I just feel about it. If you're good, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
All right. I'm going to do that, and then I can introduce you in, and then we'll go ahead and carry on. So, hi, Sparrow.
Okay.
It's another Matters of the Heart Monday. And of course, I am Valerie Miller of T.V.M. The Valerie Miller Double Fold. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. There's always room to increase, be better, grow, be great. And tonight, as I've been stating all day long, and I think last night I started circulating information and sharing on Melissa B. She is a fabulous artist out of New York, and we made connection on a radio podcast. And I just thought she was amazing from day one. Who knew that I'd be having her on my own podcast? So I'm presenting her to you today. So, welcome to the room. Get ready. And of course, the base always come from How I Became Fabulous and the Lady All the Time. So whenever having a guest
Mm.
on, I pull a chapter from this book,
Mhm.
and it sets the foundation for direction of conversation. So
Okay.
tonight, due to your song, Love Games, yes, Love Games,
Yeah.
triggered of what we could lead into tonight. Of course, it's going to go in so many directions because we're both authors. You're an artist. I absolutely love music. I write to music. I do everything to music. So, with that said, P.U.P.E.A.T.Os is an acronym for Punk Under Pretense Engaged as the One. And it happens in relationships, and you feel like you have someone amazing in your life, and they're pretending for whatever their intentions are. So, life lived it. I'm not sure about your song, if it was something that was true that took place in your life or what. You'll have opportunity to share.
Mhm.
And we can unlayer so much more about you. So I'm going to pass the torch over. If you can share who you are, background on how you have become who you are now, today, in the music world, being a tech activist, even author.
Mhm.
It's on you. Welcome. First of all, I'm grateful.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you so much, Valerie, for putting me on here to your show. I appreciate it. Everybody out here in Facebook. I am Melissa B. People always ask me, does B stand for, what does B stand for? My last name is Bailey. So I was like, Melissa Bailey. I was like, I'd rather do Melissa B because it stands out. Shorten it. I my parents, my mother and my father were in the military, so I'm a military kid. I grew up all over the world. I grew up in Japan, Germany, Hawaii. I lived outside the United States most of my childhood, so I didn't grow up like regular kids in the United States.
Uh-huh.
So I'm more of, when people ask me, where are you from? Because they can never pinpoint my accent out there. I just tell them I'm worldly because I've been all over the world. My brother and sister were born in Japan and stuff. Anyway, I been singing since I was 5 years old. Loved computers since I was a little kid. Used to break my father's computer all the time. And my dad I was doing pageants and everything like that, but I was still a geek, still a girl geek. And my dad was like, you need to go to college for this because you have a knack for it.
Hmm.
And I just, I don't know. I always say if I would have seen Hidden Figures earlier, I think I would have become a scientist. I would have probably done that, done
Ah,
something with NASA. But unfortunately, but I am I love computers and I am a network engineer and I got my bachelor's degree in computer science. Um, and I mix music and technology together as one. So I literally am that artist that the music industry has been talking about, that that I am not a struggling artist like that,
right,
meaning that I really set my mind to something in the regular day job that I have,
right.
take my money, and I invest back in myself in the technology aspect of it. And I sing it through my music because if you really look around you, we're all connected through the internet, hence why we're
Do
talking right
exactly.
now. I wrote a book called Digitally Independent because I found a lot of artists kept asking me the same questions over and over again. How do you start a label? How do you put your own music out? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I would just sit there like, it's this and this, and I was like, why aren't you doing these things? And people would be like, well, nobody's written a book about it. So since I got asked a question, I said, well, I'm gonna write a book. And I didn't know that I was gonna write a book,
Ah,
seriously.
it was a
But
need.
being,
It was a need
huh?
for it. It was a definite need for it.
Yeah. The book is like, it's on eBay. Oh, not eBay. Amazon.
Uh-huh.
It's like for $2. You can go on for $2.99. You can get the ebook, and if you want the physical book, it's 19. But if you want the ebook, you can get it for $2. Come on.
Can't beat too.
Like, I I literally give people the keys to how to really to set yourself up the way that you're supposed to, the because a lot of people won't tell you the way I'm doing it.
They won't.
I basically give you all the shortcuts.
That's
Yeah.
unfortunate. And it would be easier and kinder, of course, if more people shared their experiences to make it easier to transition into whatever it is that you may be interested in doing. But it's not always
Yeah.
easy. But I looked on your website and I saw the information that you had on it, and it is step by step by step.
Yeah, I gave a I also gave away a free, I put together a free marketing plan,
Mm-hmm.
and just to help people, because there are a lot of people who don't know this stuff. They outside of me being an artist, we're running our own business, right? And that's what is going on today.
Yes.
We are the record label. So it's like, why reinvent the wheel? But the thing is if you're going to do this business, you have to understand you're doing everything. You are Universal.
Here.
You are Atlantic Records.
Mm-hmm. It's not
You
easy.
are. That's what you are.
It
It's
is not
not.
easy.
It's not. It's not easy. But the thing is when you build relationships, but also show people that you are an artist and that your music does stand out and that you are doing what you're doing, they'll respect you more. And
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of people that, if they've seen me perform, because I'm not just, I don't boast about myself. I don't have to. I do the job. And, I'm the type of artist, like, I really do perform and I love performing for people. Like, I I give people the Melissa B experience. That's what they call it when they see me performing live,
Uh-huh.
because
Well, what
I
is
love entertaining.
yes, explain that. What would it be like to have the Melissa B experience? Because the word experience is one of my favorite words because that means it's
Hmm.
action. You can see it, you can feel it, so you have all of the emotions
Hmm.
that goes along with. So I
Oh
like
yeah, there's a vibration I give off.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a vibration I give. I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like I have something when I sing, when I do my music, and I try to. I want to give people an experience, because it's like when you're entertaining people, they're coming. to see you perform to escape something.
Yes.
So in that time that they're with you, like even with Michael Jackson or Prince or, you know, Janet Jackson, any of these other artists, when
Right.
you're watching them, you're escaping, right?
Ex-
You're in that moment. And I've learned from greats like that. Like I've been mentored by some of the great people in this industry and that have mentored me and my family. And I've always been told that you have to give people an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you're entertaining people. So when people come to see me, people are engaging with me. I'm engaging with you. I'm mixing the old with the new. Like I'm old soul. I sing songs like stuff that I grew up on that my
Right.
parents had me singing, you know, to make people reminisce, because it's not just about your music, because there's other music that has inspired us.
Mm-hmm.
So you want people to have a good time. I think people tend to forget about having a good time.
It's a choice.
So
Um,
that's
to have fun, and you have to put it on your calendar, and you shouldn't have to put fun on your calendar if you're experiencing
yeah.
every single day. That means there's time for an adjustment in your life. Seriously, when you
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
I
Look at Beyonce. When you go to Beyonce, you get a Beyonce experience. Okay? Beyonce gives you an
yeah,
experience. So
it's
that's what
memorable.
I'm talking about.
It's memorable,
Yes.
and everyone is still talking about Coachella. Still talking about
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's what you want to take place when you have a performance or anytime you're in front of a crowd. You want it to be memorable so they can take something away that's going to keep you in memory. First of all, it's going to cause them to become a follower, a fan. It's a number of things that are going to take place from the experience that
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep. That's true.
I love that. And that's just one of the taglines that I have for what I do, being a conscious lifestyle strategist and your conscious coach. I introduce you to yourself. And a lot of people ask, well, how can you introduce me to myself? I said, there are many times that we have bruises or broken in places that we haven't taken the liberties of correcting. And there are times you don't even know that you need it. So when
Mm.
having engaging conversation, the experience it's when they
Mhm.
realize, oh my gosh, I never knew that. I never recognized that. So that explains this or that. And it comes
Mhm.
from living a conscious lifestyle. And when you can align with yourself, it makes life easy, a whole lot
Mhm.
easier than how it has been when you're not living with
Mhm.
intention to know what's going on in it.
Mhm.
So it's one and the same. And being an author, you're writing a book to help those that's coming behind you that have that interest to say, you know, if she did it, I know I can do it. But you laid out the blueprint. You did that.
Yeah.
You wrote a book.
Yeah.
And I know it's a lot of digital things and, you know, in the tech world, the savvy social world, but it's nothing like a physical book. I love physical books
Mm.
where I can hold it, it's tangible, I can flip the pages, and I can go back and read it later. It's just something about the process
Yep.
of that that you cannot take away by having something digital.
Yeah.
So singing from 5 years old, and I saw somewhere I was
Yeah.
reading in bio, I saw South Carolina. I saw South Carolina on there. It was something. Where was it because of
Yeah.
military moves or
Yeah. I was born there in Sumter, South Carolina.
yes, that's in my neck of the woods. Like from Sumter, maybe 45 minutes where I grew up, a small town called Bethune, South Carolina, and it's something about Carolina girls. I don't care where in the world I am. It can be here in the U.S., North America. It can be overseas, wherever I am. I tend to always meet somebody from the Carolinas. It never fails, and it's like an instant thing, a feeling, a vibration, a connection. There's something
Mhm.
about that where I Carolina girls. And it's because if you're from North or South Carolina, you're automatically in it because it's that connection that brings to center. And I saw that. I saw I'm going to make sure
Mhm.
that I ask you, about that. I most certainly did.
Yep.
Yes. So, how are you balancing all of this? You have a tech mind, it comes naturally. You sing, it comes naturally. You've now added author to your bio.
Yep.
Yeah. How are you all of these streams? It's
It's called time management. And setting your mind to something and doing it.
yes.
You know, I'm the type of person, I don't know, I know some people don't believe in horoscopes or signs and all that kind of stuff, but
Uh,
I am a
uh,
Capricorn and I'm very strong-minded. So I'm the type of person when I start something, I have to finish it.
uh-huh.
I never start something that I don't finish, that I put my 100% in. And when I started my book, um, it was kind of like a joke in a way, but then I started getting into it and I was like, oh, I had to put the pressure on myself. I knew nothing about publishing myself, anything. Do you know I had to figure it out just like I figured out putting out my own records. And I was like, this is
Yeah,
good. This is a good way to show people not only am I doing this for you, writing, all of this information for you, but
yeah,
I'm showing you that I digitally did it myself, publishing myself.
right.
I didn't have any publishing house. I figured it out on my own.
Uh-huh. You had
So,
to because
time
it was meant to
management.
do that. And it is about time management.
Yeah.
You look at that because I had to Google, I had to YouTube, I had to do due diligence also with publishing my book. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that I did. I'm grateful
Yeah.
I did that. It was the best experience because I learned so much, not just about writing and publishing a book, but I learned a lot about myself and being
Yeah.
dedicated to making sure that comes to fruition. It took some years because, again, I, like you, I had no intention. I threatened to write for years, just didn't do it. But when I was led to do it, then I finished it. Pulled all the notes out, the journals, put everything together, and then you have the end result. And it's like, oh my gosh, you have
I
this.
cried when I got my physical book. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I was like, I didn't cry when I get my CD, but I cry when I make a book. I was like, wow. Okay. And people also asked me to do an Audible book, and I was like, listen, I'll do the book. I'm not doing no Audible, but I hired somebody. I just recently just hired somebody to do Audible. I was like, listen, I know I have time, but I ain't got that much time. I was like, you guys aren't going to get that much out of me. I can't. That's too much going on in my life. I was
it
like,
is.
that was when that's when I can say no. I'm not, I can do everything, but I know when to
To
pull the brakes and
delegate,
be like, okay, guys, I'm
delegate.
not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, so I hired somebody to do. So the Audible book is coming back out too.
That's great. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to do that, but then, like you are a Capricorn, I'm an Aquarius. I feel like I have to do it all myself.
Yeah.
I know that it's the worst thing, and so determined, I will
Mhm.
stay up all night long to complete something. That's how driven I am. And most would say you really need to stop and get some rest. I'm like, no, I'll rest when it's finished. I'll finish
Mhm.
when it's done. And have
Yep.
started a few chapters at a time. It's taken probably 6 months, and I'm nowhere near the end with these audibles because I'm recording it myself. Nobody can feel my emotions in those times. Nobody can, deliver that. That's what I'm thinking. But of course they can.
Mhm.
But I said, no, I'm going to do that myself.
Mhm.
So to me, with this one, a beginning to end, myself since I started it that way. But I can't blame you. There are times when you have to say no because you can overextend. And that was one of the reasons why I asked you the question. How are you juggling all of these
Mhm.
things and touring and writing and then working a job in New York, one of the busiest places ever,
Yep.
you know?
You just find time. You have to. I structure my time properly. I've learned over the years not to overextend myself because I have gotten to the point where I burned myself out.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, if you are driven and you have a passion, you have a dream, pace yourself. Don't, because you could overextend yourself sometimes and you don't know when to say no.
Indeed, indeed. And no is
Hmm.
powerful, and it's, something we all have to get accustomed to saying. It is a
Oh, that's
sentence.
my weakness. That is my
Yes.
weakness because I will say yes to a lot of things because I'm the type of friend, I'm the type of person who will help my friends, help my family, and overextend myself. We're the point where my friends and my family is like, "You're doing too much." And then I'm like, okay, I have to say no. That's my biggest thing since I was little to learn how to
Mhm.
say no. And it's okay to
Well,
say no. It's okay.
it is. It is. And say it with a smile. No
Mhm.
follow up, no maybes, if, no, no. And then tell me something else good today.
Mhm.
Like what else? Change the subject. That's what I do. I will completely
Yeah.
change the subject because now it's uncomfortable if you stand there and wait for another response other than no. So that's pretty much the end of it. So looking, you do have
Mhm.
a new release. You have the book that's out. You've done some
Yeah.
travel. I know overseas, the difference between overseas followers and then here in the US. So is that something that's huge
Mhm.
and that great of notice? Now I know it is when it comes to just a regular visit and living there for a period of time because my ex-husband was military, so visiting over in Greece, living in Italy, and just being a part of that culture for
Mhm.
2 or so years, it's significant differences between
Yeah.
overseas and here. So, what is the difference for you when it comes to music
It here in America or overseas?
in comparison between?
They're more appreciative in Europe for our music
Mm-hmm.
than I feel over here. Um, I think that's why I'm doing really good overseas. I'm even doing good in China. Um, and I've been pushing myself to do more overseas than here. I always find like you gotta do your music over there first before people start realizing you over here. I don't know why that is, but wherever God takes me, wherever my fans are, that's where I go.
Exactly.
But I am starting to have a fan base. I do have a fan base in the United States, but it's different parts of the United States. It's like LA, I'm finding I have fans in Ohio, I have fans in Florida,
Uh-huh.
I have fans in Georgia. Like it's little parts, and I'm starting to find my fans. I even have fans in South Africa, and I've just found that out. So I have fans in different parts of the world.
Well, it's no different than the map. It's different colors that represent
No?
the states, right? So eventually,
Mhm.
because they all connect one way or the other, eventually, the more you grow, and then that's where your fan base is going to, of course,
Yeah.
grow and be that much stronger than what it is right now. But then at the same
Mhm.
time, you got to think about, the type of music, the audience that you're reaching, and I know back in the day it was like the crossover music of whatnot. So from what I
Mhm.
of you, I feel like it is crossover. I feel like everybody could listen to your sound because, like I said, as I listened to your music, I had already downloaded from iTunes, I think it was. And
Mhm.
so just listening to it, I could resonate with quite a few things that you sang about,
Mhm.
especially love games, especially that one. And I think it was one you had bright light. Is it bright light?
Bright light. You mean give it to me?
Is it give it to me?
Mhm.
But it's
That starts off. It's the bright light.
that. That.
That's give it to me.
I like that. I really like it. And I
Mhm.
normally I wouldn't say that, but I love music overall and not a specific genre of music. I don't care who it is or who sings it. If I like it, I like it. And have
Mhm.
always been that type of individual. So I can say that it doesn't matter if it's an older group or an individual that's a singer, a songstress, or vocalist or whatnot. But
Mhm.
with your background, it says a lot to be techie and laugh about that too. When I went off to school, I went and I studied computer programming. I was bored out of my mind. When it came to, and I think it was timing of it. And it's because I knew it was going to be the wave of the future. I knew that. However, I'm going to age myself now, but COBOL, Pascal, all of that, I wanted to
Mhm.
cry. I'd rather be out with the friends, but then loved fashion, loved interior design. But in my mind, again, the dreamer, the creative
Mhm.
Aquarius feels that you can do all of these things.
Mhm.
Yeah. And to some capacity, I have. I can say I've been there and done that. I've had, roles where by me having taken those computer courses and writing programs, I got the job because of that. So,
Mhm.
utilizing what your talents are really takes you far in life. And at the end of the day, it has driven me to where I sit now to be independent, to help others discover what their gifts are if you don't know, and how you can monetize it, how you can grow it, and understand until you align with yourself, you're just spinning your wheels in life. Things aren't going
Mhm.
to connect the dots. And it does take growing yourself, personal development. It does take saying no and prioritizing your time and making sure that you have it set aside to just reprieve. You have to sit still sometime.
Yep.
Now, you write all of your music. Have you written everything that I've heard thus far?
Well, Love Games was not written by me. It was written by Easy Money, Jarvis Edwards. He wrote that for
Okay.
me. But majority of
Okay.
the
What's
rest of
that?
my stuff, everything else. Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the ones that you did write, were they life experiences, friends experiences? How does it make it from your mind of thought to actual vocals that you're in a studio recording?
Uh, like one of my songs, "Breathe."
Yeah.
Uh, I was thinking my father passed away when he was 50 years old
Mm,
of stomach cancer, and
sorry about that.
I was forced to, yeah, thank you. I was put in the booth by my producer B Howard at the time, and he was like, "You need to write a song." And I started thinking about my dad, and I started thinking about, "Ooh, wow. I wonder what he was thinking when he was taking his last breaths of life. And I wonder what a child was thinking the same time that he was taking his last breaths and a child is taking their first breaths,
Wow.
being born at the same time."
That's profound.
You know, I don't know. I think about things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we breathe air, we just breathe naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
But does anybody ever think about, like what you're thinking in the last moments of your life? How does life flash before you? Do you have regrets about things? Are you thinking about the next thing, or are you thinking about how life is just so beautiful?
Right.
I don't know, that's how I think.
It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's
So I'm kind of a
it's
deep
present.
thinker sometimes.
Yes, it's present thinking. That's conscious alignment. And
Hmm.
everybody does not get there, if at all, at the same time. We grow and we elevate at different, levels and phases in our lives. And it's due to having experiences like losing your father at that
Hmm.
age. And then to hear you say 50, my gosh, I'm 50. But then to know that, it really, you have a different outlook and your perspective changes when you are faced with situations like that. I mean, it was like that when my son passed away, but then he was still
I'm
born.
sorry.
Thank you. He was still born. So just to know that and that experience completely changed my life. That's why I'm present. That's why I don't procrastinate so much, because tomorrow
Yeah.
isn't promised.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad, he, if you would have met my father, you would have thought my dad was like, the amount of things that he accomplished, you would have thought he was 80 years old, but he was 50. And my dad accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. I think that's why I have that knack in my life where I do so much, because he was an example
Yes.
to show me that you can do, if you set your mind to something and if you believe in yourself, nobody can tell you no, because if you like just do it,
Right.
you can make it happen. And like I said, like I didn't know I didn't know nothing about putting out albums and stuff. My dad used to manage me. He did everything for me. So can you imagine someone that was doing everything for you
Right.
and it gets ripped out of your life? You can no longer talk to them and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, how do I get in this business again?
Right.
Because my father was doing everything for me.
It's eye opening. And if you're going to stay in the industry, at this point, you had no other choice. You had to learn it, or,
Yeah.
you could have easily hired someone, but you don't have that relationship, especially not something like you would have with your father to do that.
Yeah.
He's looking out for your best interest completely.
I have I can say that learning the way I've learned so much, and and I naturally bow to saying that there's things I don't know,
Right.
and I have friends in the industry
Mhm.
who are also family members who have steered me in the right direction and just go this way, go this way. You're going the right way, just but you got to go this way, and I pay attention.
Right.
But they're like, you know what you know, but it's okay to ask the questions when you don't know.
Right. It's important
Yeah,
because you're guided,
yeah,
and being in tune with yourself, that's how you can hear the directions. If it's a lot of chaos in your head, you cannot hear instructions. You can't. You can't.
well, I didn't, after my father passed away, I didn't sing for 2 years. I stopped singing for 2 years. I was afraid.
Really.
Yeah, I was afraid. I just I don't know, I lost the joy,
Hmm.
right? But then after a while, it was like God was just kept pushing me and be like, this is not what I intended for you.
Exactly.
This is not what you're here for. I brought you here for this, and you need to continue on the gifts I've given you.
Right.
And people, and sometimes people go, oh, you do this, you do that, da, da, da. And I always say, well, and I'm not going to be ashamed of the talents I have.
Hmm.
And I just say I thank God for them, because I'm unique in my own way, and He gave me these talents so that I could get to where I need to get to.
Exactly. That's your blueprint. Your
It's my blueprint.
blueprint.
Yes. And
You know.
I'm not going to bow down to
No.
say I'm sorry or apologize
No.
for my gifts. I am not apologizing, because I thank God every day, because I try to, outside of me, I try to help people,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
through my music, through my book.
Ye-
Like I'm going to write another book,
yes.
but I'm not going to do it right now. But but I will do another book. But I have to take my time.
One thing at a time. And you're
Yeah.
right. Like when we spoke before, I said The book is already written. It's just a matter of you transferring it to paper,
Yeah.
because you already know where to pick up, where to start from your first
Yeah.
book. It's a responsibility that
Yep.
once you write the first one, I knew it would be more than one to come from the first one. It's a three-part trilogy. The second one is
Mhm.
about to release. The third one is already written. It's just waiting its turn to be presented. In
Yep.
essence, I have about 7 to 8 books to write, and that's for my present scope. And
Mhm.
writing the way I do is according to life and from a memoir standpoint, and using myself as example and being vulnerable enough to share my experiences because I want to help somebody else. So take the gifts that you have. None of us have the same gifts. That's why you may have one or two, somebody may have 10. But at the same time, unlayer yourself, get to know who you are as who you are and what you were actually born for and to do. And then you'll be in perfect
Mhm.
alignment to live according to those gifts. So scripture reads all the, and I say it, they make room for you. Your gifts make perfect room for you if you apply them.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Amazing is all I can say, because nobody could have ever told me a year ago, this past Saturday, um, it was a year that I left my job. And it was like, seriously, who's going to do that? I did that because I knew and was led to do it and was pushing back for quite a while. Like, who does that? But at the same time, if I had not done that, I wouldn't be here right now. I never would have been in
Mhm.
the space to where you and I would have met how we met, because
Mhm.
that's entertaining my gifts in that
Yeah.
space. So you have to express gratitude, and I never can enough to show thanks for the gifts that I'm unlayering every single day of who I'm becoming. And as we're becoming, we're introducing to ourselves of who
Mhm.
we are. And that's why it's so powerful, to have and know people that are in your lives that influence, and they keep you focused because they see that light in you also. They're encouraging, like your dad, encouraging you to do that, you know, and to even take 2 years off. You had to rediscover yourself and find the purpose and the joy of where you had it before,
Yeah.
you know, in order to
Mhm.
represent yourself to the world. And then you came out with a vengeance because now it's innovative in a way that you were not before.
Yeah.
Just think about it. We all have our ministries and they look different. Everybody's look different as far as responsibilities of what we are to do, and creating your blueprint to share with other people who may not have a voice, who may not have the focus or somebody encouraging them, but they still have a strong desire and know that that's inside of them. And I want to do this, but I don't know how. But then here you are with a PDF for $2.99 that can give structure to do that,
Yep.
you know? And then, I mean, no different than P.U.P.E.A.T.Os, punks under pretense, engaged as the one. I have descriptions. And it's not just from one guy, it's from guys that I can replay over in my mind that I've had engagement with or relationships with in the past. So to look at that, and I couldn't just get that because in the moments you don't see it until after the
Mhm.
fact. And then you have,
Yeah.
aha, oh, games, he's playing. Wait a minute. Lies, deceit. Seriously? Am I that girl? Because we never are. But when you meet someone so clever, they're in suits and ties, they're doctors and lawyers and senators and all of these people, And these are broken people. It doesn't matter your rank or what your title is. It's a lot of brokenness in the world. And when you can help somebody else to make attempts to avoid those types of bruises and heartaches, I knew it was our responsibility. But then also looking at how I got to that place to be able to learn these things. It was because
Mm-hmm.
losing Nicholas. When my son passed away, it awakened a lot. And so to now go back and play it in my mind, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to write this. I can't sit on this because it's
Mm-hmm.
happening and it's not the people you think. It's not the player that you know is the player. No, it's the one in the suits and ties. The professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hadn't had opportunity to talk about that just yet. I hadn't until I heard Love Games. And when I heard that, I said, oh, yeah, I can talk about P.U.P.E.A.T.Os now. It's it's time, you know? So looking at yourself and that particular song, was that the one you wrote, or somebody else wrote that one?
Someone else wrote that one.
Okay. But looking at the gist of it, you truly love that person. You care about this person, right? And then what do? You're caught in it. And then they really, how would you handle that? You, Melissa, now, if you were in that position, you care more than he cares.
Mm.
It makes you think. It
Huh?
does.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear you.
You're.
Joy,
I'm like, what? That's
I'm
so
waiting
crazy.
for you. And there's some comments I hear too. It is. Can
Wow,
you
it's getting choppy. No, your side is getting choppy.
to me, your side is getting the joys of Facebook. So
Is my side choppy to you?
it is.
That's weird. Your side is choppy to me too.
I know. And this could be a flux. I just feel like so many get on. That's what the issue is. So I think it's just because the number of people are starting to get on lives around the same time. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. That's crazy.
It is crazy because you
That's
don't have that
crazy.
on blog. But you are here now.
Is it or because your thing is long?
I don't know. It hasn't been before. It's just recently starting to do this. Recently.
That's weird.
It is weird. Now I can hear you.
That means there's congestion on the network.
See, the tech in you just came out.
Wow.
Melissa the tech just showed up.
Yeah.
You just showed up. But looking at some of
Yeah.
the the comments, Joy, she's saying you're a focused young lady, and we're getting comments saying that it's starting and stopping, so it's kind of bouncing from side
Wow.
to side. Yeah. Hmm. Unfortunate. That's a big fat problem, but
That's okay.
it's okay. We'll take advantage of the time that we have right now.
Hmm.
you know Tell us what is some of the other things that you have going on, like what is your to do next?
Go to China.
That is good. And you said you have
Yeah.
something there, so you have a large fan base there in China.
I've gotten 100,000 streams in China
Wow,
already. Hmm.
that's a big deal.
Yeah. hardly any promotion. They're just discovering me, which is
Interesting.
really good.
It is very
Hmm.
good. It's very.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to release something overseas in Asia,
Uh-huh.
which is I can't say anything about it, but I will later on when it's done. I'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
But it's pretty some interesting stuff, and when it's out, people will be like, "I want to know, I want to hear it." But you're gonna have to live in Asia to get it.
That is a great, great plan. Making
Yeah.
things specific, yes. Because you do
Mhm.
have, that's a great idea, especially when you have followers in different places. If you do something specific, then you can see some different outcomes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I like
Yes.
I like it.
Mhm.
Okay. Another thing. But then you didn't answer my question. Wait a minute. I can't answer this one. Ask you one more until you answer.
What's what?
Before the choppiness took place. I
Well, why couldn't I didn't know what the answer, what the question was, because
oh,
I was like, huh?
okay, listen.
Uh-huh.
In the dating world, if you're
Uh-huh.
dating, are you
Mhm.
dating? If you're dating, how would you handle a situation? You meet someone, he's engaging, he is everything you could possibly hope for,
Mhm.
and then now you're interested, falling for him, and now he's not really wanting to go there. How
Mhm.
do you handle that? Because you're younger here. I can't wait to hear this. But then you're an old soul at the same time. You may be younger, but you're an old soul.
uh um I don't really know because I don't know. I don't focus on that stuff.
I know. Nobody does until you're in it.
I don't I don't know. I write my music and I say how I feel.
Express it.
I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like people tend to they don't live in the moment
Mm-hmm.
in relationships anymore.
No.
People don't take the time to really know someone. It's too much of this instantaneous thing,
Run.
right?
Run.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like my parents were married for 30 some years,
Mm-hmm.
and people always say, well, how would they I know I'm not digressing off of the question. I'm trying to help
No,
the
it's a
question.
part of that. It's
Yes,
necessary
yes.
because it's how you think.
You you have to with anything, you have to invest time with something. You cannot just be into something and then if it doesn't go your way, you completely just break apart from it
Right.
because that's not what relationships are about.
Right.
You're supposed to be in it for the long haul. And it's just like friendships, right?
Exactly.
When you have a friend,
Uh-huh.
there's certain friends that you have in your life that you will go for the gusto with, and they know the ins and outs of you, and you know the ins and outs of them,
Right.
and you never break up that friendship, right?
Right.
But with it, just like with a relationship, an intimate relationship, a relationship with someone, there are the ins and outs with that person, and sometimes you might not be happy with that person,
Right.
but you have to understand people are not perfect.
Exactly.
This is a life experience.
Yeah.
We are living an experience that God has given us. So it's better. I feel like people tend to lose that whole thing of that soul mate, that twin soul, the people that connect. Like, dig into it,
Right.
dive into who you're with. Don't just disconnect from somebody, disconnect from your phones, disconnect from your computers.
Yes.
Take the time to know someone, like really
Complete.
know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you're gonna lose. Why do you think they call these cell phones? Because these are a cell. It's like a prison. CELL,
Yeah.
cell phone. You are a prisoner of your technology. Hence
Absolutely.
why that's why people are losing relationships, because they're not taking the time and they're not living the moment and they're not living the life. And
Exactly.
TV and all this other crap is not
Distract
real. It's
distractions.
not real.
Right.
And so, like I said, I don't know. With me, I live through my experiences through my music, and that's my therapy.
It is a lot of therapy, and that's one of the reasons why music is universal. Everybody can resonate to a genre, and it's something that's taken place in life that you can connect to through the sounds, through those lyrics. And one of the very reasons that I write to it, it encourages me to write. It causes me to remember something that took
Mm-hmm.
place and being different
Yeah.
and not thinking like the average person. I don't.
Yep.
And it does take a lot of time. It's no different than investment in anything else that you care about. If you're not making wise choices of the person that you're investing time in, that can backfire on you, and not
Mm-hmm.
asking the proper questions and making sure you're a whole person first before you jump into relationships, having all of this
Mm-hmm.
luggage that you're bringing in. All these things are distractions. And if you're not qualified to date, I'll tell my clients in a heartbeat, Valerie, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that. I said, sweetie, you're not qualified. And then sometimes they're offended, and then other times I really have to break it down and paint the picture as to why you're not, because there are people out here who are not sincere because you are, and that's what you want. P.U.P.E.A.T.O is where it came from, because you can be in alignment. You could be ready. Your parents were married a very long time. My parents, married 53, almost 54 years. So looking at that, that's the example that you and I have had longevity, sticking
Mm-hmm.
together through the good and the bad, working things out, committed. That's what it looks like, and that's where your years come from. Not saying that it's easy, but the sacrifice to say, you know what, I love you enough to work through this. And it's tough today to meet individuals that are willing to have those types of commitments, because you have divorce as an out, you have those that would just keep her or him and go about cheating. It's so many things that factors in, but you better know who you are to be prepared for a relationship. It's not anything to play with. It's a beautiful thing to have when you choose the right person to work through it all.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah.
meeting individuals like that, you need to know what you're up against and making sure that you're prepared for what you may be walking into. And when you do know, have enough self esteem for yourself to get out of it. Don't stay there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's constant. It's so many things that revolve around.
Well, sometimes women nowadays they don't know their worth. And a lot of people, like I look at a lot of women sometimes, and I pay attention to this generation, the millennials, and it's everything is instant gratification.
Right.
People are so quick to want to show their body, show this, show that. It's like, oh, look at me, you know, look at my body, look at this, look
Yeah.
at that. Oh, I'm great at this and that. It's like, for me, when I see people do that, I feel as though it's like it's like a hen and it's saying, "Oh, look at my feathers," or peacock, "Look at my
Yes.
feathers. Look how beautiful I am."
Yeah.
But what's really inside?
Right.
You know, and people tend to, like you said, they don't know themselves, and they want someone else to appease them with the whole thing of, "Oh, you're beautiful.
Right.
Oh, I love that. I love, this and that." You know, I I don't I don't think that this generation really knows themselves.
They don't.
They're very shallow,
Mm-hmm.
very shallow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. They're
Right.
isolating themselves. They don't know who they are, and it's all this quick gratification, right? Instant gratification of what?
It's all
Of
material.
what?
Yes, I need to have the spotlight. I need
It's
to.
a drug.
Yes,
It's a drug.
yes,
Technology is a drug.
it is.
And people need to realize that you have to live life. Live, you have to live
Be
it,
right.
you know?
Be in the midst of it.
And yeah, you have to because this this this
Yeah,
thing here is the control.
it can hurt you severely. It really can
Yeah, it's
damage
sad. It's
you.
sad.
If you
And I think
constantly
that
have the phone in your hand, you're videoing or you're taking selfies just to see how many likes you're going to get. Or,
I hate selfies. I hate I hate people like people go, "Oh, you only have such and such amount of likes." And I'm like, "I
who
don't care.
cares? Yeah, nobody cares about
I
that.
don't care." I'm like, "If you like my stuff, you like it. Great. Thank you. Okay? I'm going to keep it moving." That's me. That's me. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here for the liking. I'm not here for the little ting
No,
ting like hearts. Give
no.
me, okay? It's a psychological game. It's like going to Las Vegas and going to a slot machine hoping that I'm going to win the lottery
Uh-huh.
or hoping that I'm going to win the slots of the money going ching, 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 and giving me that instant gratification.
You're right.
Oh my God, I want that noise that you hear. Ching, 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 ching.
Yes.
That's
I
logical.
won.
That's a
That's all fun.
psychological
I
thing.
won.
Yeah. And it's like this, Mimi, look at me. Look at me. I'm an Instagram model. I'm like, what? No,
It's
no.
constant.
Who are you?
Most can't answer that question.
That's what I'm saying. I'm soul searching here. And
Yes.
I think that's what I tend to do through my music because I want people to understand. I do have a song called Disconnect. It's going to come
Uh-huh.
out. It's basically talking about what's going on now
Uh-huh.
in our time, how people are not connecting.
Mm-mm.
That you got to disconnect from the phones, disconnect from the,
Every
the laptops
yeah.
to connect back to human nature.
Right. Conversations. Unscripted, like this one. Just have them. Talk about what excites you. Understand
Mhm.
who you are when you don't. That's what my book is about. I am.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
accept me for who I
Mhm.
am. Being bold, being brave, being fierce. And that takes spending time with yourself. And a lot of people say, well, Valerie, why do you say you're on isolation island? I say I'm on isolation island because I'm discovering me and who I am when it comes to God and what He wants for me and how I can live my life according to the purpose of what I was born for. That's the point
Mhm.
and the purpose of Isolation Island. It's not dating. It's not being all over social media. What you see of me, social media, is me working. This is work for me and didn't want to do that because I'm extremely introverted. So I had to put
Mhm.
on my extrovert hat to do all of these things to reach the people who need the services that I offer. And so looking at that, the first book, How I Became Fabulous, it isn't about glam, glitz, and all of this. It's none of that because that's not who I am. So becoming fabulous is just me and how fabulous is God and my relationship with him and how I became to be who I am today because of losing my son, because of relationships that came after that and how I discovered myself through those relationships, realizing at the end of the
Mhm.
day, love is everything. And if you're not loving yourself, you're making yourself open for so many things to attack you, which tears you down. But you need to be in a place to where you're constantly building yourself up to understand who you are. And that's one of the first questions I ask my clients. Who are you? Who are you, Melissa? And then you get the deer in headlights because they don't know.
That's my question I ask in my book,
Yeah,
my first chapter. I
it's
say, who are
exactly.
you as an
I
artist?
am.
If you
Yes,
can't answer that
it's
question,
necessary.
then you cannot be in this business.
Mm-mm. And not know yourself.
Because, yeah, because then if you don't know who you are, how the hell are someone else supposed to know who you are and
They,
try to connect with you?
mm-mm. That's the representative.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're representing somebody else, the fake, the phony facade, the P.U.P.E.A.T.O, you're not being honest with yourself. And if you're not honest with yourself, you are the representative that you're presenting to everybody else. And then
Yeah.
the saga continues. You're playing a
Look
game,
at
not
Prince.
honest, and he's
Prince knew who he was.
the game. Yeah.
Prince knew who he was. James Brown knew who he was.
Yes.
Aretha Franklin knew who she was. Whitney knew who she was.
And lived it. Lived boldly every single day. If you're not willing to take the mask off, unveil those layers, get to the core of who you are, to live authentically. You can't live authentic when you have no idea of who you are. What wakes you
Yeah.
up? Where's the joy? What inspires you? It's
Mm-hmm.
got to be more than social media. I don't even watch TV. I
No,
don't,
me either.
I watch Netflix when I want to watch something. And it's always a comedy because I feel like laughing. The world is in such a mess. I just want to laugh all the time. Laugh and listen to music.
I watch anime.
You watch like,
I watch a lot of cartoons.
yeah,
So
you have
I
to.
stay in a happy realm.
You have to.
I don't like horror movies.
No, the news, don't.
I don't believe in that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you have
Yeah.
good news? Can you make one part of the news a good news segment? Why does everything have to be
Yeah.
turmoil, destructive?
Yeah.
Somebody's died, got
Yeah.
today. Well, who had a baby today? Who, got a promotion? Can you capture some joys? Some joys in life?
Yeah.
But that's the world that we live in. And it's such an embarrassment for the country as a whole. It really is. And
Yeah.
I just really wish things could be better than it is, but it's going to start, or the best way to do it is by discovering yourself and not participating in all the things that keeps you held in bondage. That's where it starts
Yeah.
with who are you? And basically I've taken the letters of my name, of Valerie, and it's all about affirmations of who I am because of all of the things I've had to
Mhm.
endure in a lifetime. Because we are constantly becoming. We're
Mhm.
never the same every day. It's evolvement taking place here. Are you noticing it? Are you
Yeah.
present?
Yeah.
You know? Or are you always distracted? It's that thing. And I just really wish, you know, it could be more to where individuals are interested in discovering themselves rather than always following and wishing to be somebody else. To me, it's a slap in the face to God to say, you know what, you didn't make me interesting enough to where I need to want to be somebody else. You know, insecurities, broken people, bruised
Mm.
individuals, and they have
Yeah.
no idea that they are. That's the worst part. You don't know that you're bruised and broken.
Yeah.
But I like to point it out, not to hurt anybody, but to have an aha moment.
Mhm.
Just to say, just simple questions, starting with who are you? What did you want to be when you were 5 years old? Because that's where innocence takes place. That's when you were brutally honest. You loved life. You were just had this little liberated kid, just full of joy and just tell you everything in love, because that's what they sincerely meant. So if I can take you back to 5 years old, recapture those emotions, then take that energy and bring it to present time. Now ask yourself, have a mirror moment with yourself and ask that same question.
Mhm.
You know, that's when they realize, oh my gosh, I never knew that. I know you didn't. That's why it's important to live in alignment to what you were born to do. I'm constantly
Yep.
doing that, you know. And it's not hard to turn the TV off. It's not hard to spend time with yourself. Pray, meditate, understand yourself, align. I can't say it enough. Align. I love me. I
I love
love
me
who,
too.
yeah, and who I'm becoming, because it really
Yeah.
cuts so much nonsense out of your life. It's not hard to put the phone down. It's not hard to go for a walk and just actually feel the breeze on your face. You know, you can wake up in the morning and hear the birds outside, not grabbing your phone and flipping to see what took place overnight.
Yeah.
You know, consciousness is something. See what I'm saying? Who knew we were going to go off
Mhm.
there with this conversation? But, but it is necessary to avoid things and people who do not align with your purpose. You
Yeah.
marry people who that you're not supposed to be with. They were supposed to teach you something. It was a lesson in it for you to give or to receive. And
Mhm.
it's a lot of people who jump into relationships overnight. And my question is, what's the urgency? Why are you rushing this? Please get to know this person. Have you been with them a full year, all 4 seasons? How is he when he's upset? You know, how is she when you say no to her? How do they treat people in public? Family relationships, is it close? Because I know my family is ridiculously close. So I need somebody
Yeah.
in my life who can handle that and not going to be jealous of that, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
those are key things that you need to look at. A number of things that can go on and on and on, but I don't know. But I tell you what, you know, we've gone over an hour.
That's okay.
We really have. So what's on your mind to say? I'm going to put it on you to voice whatever's on your mind to say. And then I know we spoke about a song. If you could give us something of yours, just a lyric or two or something.
Oh, they can. I have a song that I just came out with, "The Light."
Yeah,
It kind of coincides with what you're talking about.
right.
How we have to. We tend to forget where we come from, and I say, look into the stars, wondering who we are. Um, we're asking God, remind us who we used to be,
Mm-hmm.
and just saying, powerful, you are the light. That we are the light. That God has created us to be the light.
That's beautiful. And it's relevant, and
Yeah.
it's a question that everybody asks at one point or another. Because if you're not growing to the point of where you ask questions because you want the information to make yourself better, because when you are doing the work to make yourself better, you present better to other people. And then it becomes
Mhm.
contagious, and those around you become better.
Yep.
It's a ripple effect, you know, and if you're stagnant and in the same place, that's a problem. And, you know,
Yes.
some people that I know, you know, I moved back to the Carolinas from Georgia 6 or 7 months ago, and just reconnecting with some people back here that I've known for a very long time, but at the same time, they haven't grown at all. Have not grown. And that's a problem for me because I can't even associate with you now. I still love you the same. We just can't hang out. We can't.
Yeah. You've elevated to another
Right?
level
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yes.
And that's okay,
It
because sometimes
is.
people will, you're here, and sometimes people will be right here.
Uh-huh.
And I've had friends too, where I'm like, you're supposed to be here, and I'm supposed to be here, not me being here and you're
You
here.
think. Yes.
But that's what it is,
Yeah.
and you have to accept that. Love them, pray for them, but just know that, some people elevate faster than others,
Absolutely.
and other people are more open to other experiences in life, and you can't hold yourself back because of that,
Right.
because God has something special for you in order to move where he wants you to move.
Honey, I leave everybody behind. I'm,
I have to.
I am forward moving thinking. I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I can't do this
And they even sometimes they can have to be family members too,
inclusive.
because sometimes family members, they they might not see your vision, and it's okay.
Yeah.
They're always going to be your family. You love them,
Uh-huh.
but it is what it is,
That's exactly how it is. And
you
that's
know.
how it's going to be because I know it's something greater over there. If I'm being led to do this or move
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
space or direction, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And
Yeah.
you constantly you're so stubborn, you're so pig-headed, you don't want to listen. No, it's not that. I'm being obedient. And
Hmm.
because you don't understand my walk and what's aligned for me, what's ahead of me, what I'm led to do, don't
Yeah.
call me stubborn because you don't
Well,
understand. But if that's how you want to deem it, okay, that's cool too. However, I'm still going this way. I'll
mhm.
see you or not because I
Yeah.
know it's a purpose in every single thing that we're all called to do.
Yes.
Purpose in that. Even
Yes, that's so true. Yep.
that's that's just it at the end of the day. Focus, listen to your heart, understand who you are so your
Yes.
mind and you're consciously aware of what's taking place in your present every single day.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
present is powerful.
Mhm.
Don't miss it. I said don't miss the present because you're so eager to rush forward or stay stuck where you are. Who wants to stand still? That's boring. So, and
Yeah.
take the fear out of everything. It's a lot of people that are afraid of what they're going to discover about themselves. I say just welcome it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
that's it. I'm not going to talk to you all night.
We can talk again, Valerie, next
We have
time.
to.
Yeah.
It's no way we can possibly talk about just this because it deters to something else and then to
Mhm.
something else. And it really explains a lot. And I just wish tons of people could hear conversations. And when it's not structured in an interview format, then you can get so much more conversation
Yeah.
because there is
Yep.
no direction, no start and end to that. But when it gets to be super juicy and time has flown by, you have to find some breaking point, some end, because then it just invites you another time. You can come back
Yeah.
and just carry on that way. Because I knew, you know, you're young, but not. You're very, that's a compliment,
I know. Thank
okay?
you.
Because there are people that are older than you, individuals
Hmm.
that does things with the mindset of a teenager that is not aware, has no idea of who they are, and just basically living and doing something just for today. And that is a major problem because you're not thinking about how your life is affected by the decisions that you're making. You know,
Yeah.
children are involved. It's a number of things, and you see it constantly every day. It's heartbreaking, and then the downside is have you can't do anything about it other than make a suggestion.
Yeah.
That's if asked, but they can always catch the video, the playback or whatnot. I'll download it, put it on YouTube. Oh,
Okay.
we just had a pop on, Melissa. Veronica, she
Hmm.
was she was waiting on Instagram.
Aw.
There was a change, and it's unscripted here, Veronica. You have to check both locations. Check both. My apologies. You're going to have to catch the replay. It was truly a juicy conversation, as I said it was. It was so juicy, we have to go ahead and draw that line in the sand right now.
Yes, I have to go eat.
You went to work and you rushed home just to be a part of this. I'm so
Yes.
grateful for you.
Yes.
I thought I heard your stomach growling. Was that you earlier? I thought I heard it.
I probably was. I'm probably being oblivious to it. I'm not thinking about it, but yeah, probably.
I heard that growl. I'm just teasing. But at the same time, I understand you need to wind down. You had a very busy day
Hmm.
and
Yes.
um, go, digress, take it
Okay.
all in. The Sparrows and I thank you. There are probably quite a few comments that we really haven't had opportunity to respond to. So if
Too. Okay.
after you've eaten and when you have some time, if you can go and respond to comments and let the Sparrows know how they can contact you. Where can they find your music? All of that.
Just look up Melissa, Melissa, the letter B as in boy, um, in iTunes, Spotify, Napster, Pandora. If you support me, you can just stream my music. And I ask people all the time, like, because right now Spotify is really not helping artists.
Uh-huh.
So, being the artist that I am, I'd rather go with the people that are supporting us in what we do. And I'd rather people just stream my music from iTunes because it helps me.
Yeah.
And you spread the word.
Yes.
Um, yeah, the laws of streaming have to change. But anyway, well, that's another
That's
talk,
that's
another
another
topic. Okay?
conversation. That's another book.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
it's a number of things that can come from that. Like I said, Miss Innovation yourself, it'll be
Yeah.
for that. But of course, I've already downloaded your music. I did that a while ago
Thank
with
you.
Station Head. So definitely a support. Please go. Thank you for your time. I appreciate
Okay.
your
All right, Valerie.
okay. Smooches to you, and we'll
Bye.
be soon. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Okay.
There you go, Sparrows. Melissa B out of New York. I'm so grateful. Um, we were supposed to be coming on now or 12 minutes ago on Instagram. However, Melissa got off from work early. She got home early, so therefore plans changed, and that's usually how it is here. Being an unscripted platform, things can change very last minute. However, for once, I'm preparing in advance to have a two-part, 2 hour, and it's just not going to be able to do that. But Melissa is amazing. She really is. And you guys only got a glimpse of who she is. She's such an intelligent, young lady to be able to write music, sing, and always have the heart and compassion to help other people who's in the industry who have no idea of how to go about getting noticed, getting their start, and having influence of her dad, who inspired her to get to where, you know, on the path to where she is. So I'm going to thank each of you guys as well for joining us tonight, even though it started out very interesting. I didn't have on my lipstick. I sat here and put on my lipstick live, and I really don't care. I don't. But it was a very, very juicy conversation. I appreciate her, and I thank you guys for enduring the system and what happened with all of the phasing in and out and all of that nonsense. And every week I is to the point to where I expect, but I shouldn't expect, because if I think more positively about Facebook, things will change. However, that meeting I mentioned that I had earlier today, it's going to change all of that. It's this streaming service that I've found, and it's going to be all the way fabulous. And I'm going to be able to use an outsourced stream and then pipe into Facebook. That way I can avoid all of these issues that has been taking place, because we have such great guests to where I just don't want any part of the show to be breaking in and out, freezing, and all of those types of things. But definitely be mindful of your relationships, whether if you're married, single, dating, whatever your status looks like, because P.U.P.E.A.T.Os are real, and they look like me and they look like you. And just do your due diligence. Take your time when meeting somebody. Invest your time. Once you can deem yourself to be qualified to date, because there's a lot of people out here dating and have no business dating. They're not qualified to date. They're damaged and bruised, and it's time to heal yourself before you make attempts to connect with somebody else. Nobody else can fix you. You have to take the liberties of working on yourself to be the best person that you can possibly be before you decide to engage and connect with another individual. There's no reason to damage everybody. It's no reason to do that. But make sure you can deem and receive the qualified award to say that you are fit to be in a relationship. Be fit. And trust me, I have Tiffany working on a qualified badge for me to either give or not give to clients that I have. I'm working on that, because there's a lot of people out here just dating and causing all types of mayhem, and just it's hurting other people. And that's the whole point of me talking about P.U.P.E.A.T.Os. And if you don't know what the description is, then you need to read chapter 22 in this book. I can't say it enough. You need to read that. Even if you're married, you're not exempt, because there are people that, are not honest enough, even with their spouses, when things aren't going well in the relationship. And then that's causing other situations. And then you start bringing in, now it's triangles. It's a number of things. If I ever really shared everything that I've experienced in my life, you wouldn't believe it. Half the things I've written, most don't believe it. However, everything that I've written, true stories. True. You just wait until you get to about number 3 when I start sharing some things that are more deep and in depth about these things. But be mindful, love yourself enough to give yourself an investment of fixing what's bruised or broken. Be mindful, stop sharing the representative in relationships, and be honest from the beginning. Because whenever you're honest with yourself first, it's easy to be honest with others. But when you start relationships with lies and deceit, then you can expect that to end with brokenness. You can definitely expect that. So, on that note, I'm going to scoot. Hi, Sharon Kelly Robinson. Good to see you in the room, my dear heart. And have a great evening, because I've talked myself tired. I really have. I've talked tired. And if you have any questions about anything, if you're dealing with some situations and you don't know how to resolve, and you want to participate in the conversation jar, just make sure you email me, send me an inbox on Messenger or something, and we'll utilize it as a question on the show. Either that, I will even bring you on. If you're brave enough to come on the show with me to have some dialogue and strategize a situation that you're enduring in your life, I'm open to do that also. That's the only way you're going to get something free. Otherwise, I'm going to send you to the website and, one of my sites to say, go ahead and schedule an appointment with me. But it's to the point to where I'm having to create group engagements and start looking outside of online to do some things within community to where it's necessary to have these conversations. Okay? It is. And it's something I'm working on now. I can't even present it to you yet. Once everything is aligned and in place, then I will present it to you with the specifics and details. But it's no reason to live in hurt, broken, all this luggage you're dragging around. Fix the issues that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. You deserve the greatest, and it starts with you to receive that. So, on that note, love without conditions, always possess a positive attitude, and soar in all you do. Love you, Mina. Smooches.